From Delaware's most award-winning radio news team, this is WDEL Video News. Here's Chris Carl.
Among Delaware's top stories for Thursday, May 17th, no one is hurt after a partial collapse of an apartment building. The power's back on after yesterday's powerful storm and bringing the farm to the city. Here are the details. No one was hurt, but a scary scene in Wilmington last night when the outside of a building collapsed.
It's a big boom. She was laying in the bed and it caved down while she was in the bed.
Happened at about 9:30 at 716 West 8th Street, a three-story apartment building. Fire crews, licenses and inspection, and Delaware Power were called to the scene. It was determined that not only 716 but 714 West 8th Street were uninhabitable until structural engineers could get a closer look. A Chancery Court judge is hearing testimony in the legal fight over the planned closure of some Wilmington schools. The Christina School District and its school board are being sued by two city parents and the city of Wilmington. The plaintiffs claim state law requires children to go to schools close to their homes. Additional traffic lanes on I-95 and a new bridge at the Indian River Inlet. Just two projects DelDOT wants more of your tax money to finance. WDEL legislative correspondent Carl Konevsky reports from Dover.
Transportation Secretary Carol Ann Wicks made her pitch to members of the Bond Bill Committee asking for a revenue package including a 5-cent per gallon increase in the state's gas tax. Wicks says ongoing projects combined with a $1.5 billion shortfall make tax hikes necessary to cover the department's construction costs.
$2.245 billion is our total program if you add it up for the 6 years, and recognizing that we have a funding shortfall of the 1.5. If we're able to have additional fees, we'll also be able to borrow some in order to cover that total program.
Wicks says she's heard a lot of opposition to the increase in the gas tax, but not getting it could be a problem.
Anything is a setback when we look at the entire package. Coming up with an alternative source for that to replace those fees would be a challenge. But there are a lot of good ideas left out there to explore, and we'll have to take them one at a time.
One idea voiced during the hearing was increasing the fee for a driver's license along with the leasing of I-95. Reporting from Legislative Hall in Dover, I'm Carl Konevsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Red Clay's referendum is up for a vote today. WDEL News continues in a moment.
Looking to gain an edge in the technology or design field? Wilmington College's Division of Information Technology and Advanced Communications offers state-of-the-art facilities equipped with the latest tools. Did you know that Wilmington College has been preparing students for careers in media arts and technology over the past 7 years? Enjoy hands-on experience and personal attention from instructors drawn straight from the industry. To learn more, visit wilmcoll.edu. Wilmington College. Achieve balance, achieve success.
If you live in the Red Clay School District, today is your chance to vote on a new operating referendum. The district's tax rate would jump by about $266 if voters approve the referendum, which would generate about $17 million. Statistics show an increase to educate each child jumped by nearly 65% between 2000 and last year. Polls are open between noon and 9 o'clock tonight. Storms containing heavy rains and winds moved through Newcastle County yesterday afternoon. WDEL's Curtis Gray reports the storm not only knocked out power, but caused some problems on the roads.
Lightning strikes and downed wires were the main cause, leading to the loss of power for more than 5,000 Delmarva Power customers late Wednesday afternoon. Residents quickly reported this sizzling, dangerous wire in the roadway near Ellesmere. You may have been among the drivers trying to make your way around downed electrical wires in the Ellesmere area on Kirkwood Highway at Clifton Avenue. Delmarva Power spokeswoman Betty Kennedy.
Well, that was one of the larger problems on the Kirkwood Highway area. Again, we believe that it was a tree limb or a branch in the lines that caused the fire on the line.
The eastbound lanes of Kirkwood Highway were closed for a while because of the downed wires, and there were no injuries. I'm Curtis Gray, 1150 AM, WDEL.
As Delaware grows with new suburban development, the cost of that sprawl to taxpayers grows as well. More from Carl Konevsky in Dover.
State Agriculture Secretary Michael Skews joined Governor Minner in announcing legislation designed to control low-density development protecting farmland throughout the state. Over the past 20 years, the state's capital budget increased almost 250% per person, 8 times more than the state's population increase. Minner says in 1950, the city of Wilmington housed 35% of the state's population.
Today, Wilmington, still our largest city, represents only 9% of the state's total population. Now, those other people still live in Delaware. They're just not in the city. They're out in what used to be our soybean and corn fields.
Skew says the legislation would allow farmers to sell building rights to developers who would do their building elsewhere.
He's going to benefit from keeping the farmland, and the taxpayers get the benefit of getting the development where it needs to be, where we have the infrastructure so we don't have to incur additional costs to put it in place. So with this scenario, a lot of people come out winners.
Reporting from Legislative Hall in Dover, I'm Carl Konefsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Well, the candidacy of one Republican for governor has apparently ended before it really even got started. Greenville Senator Charlie Copeland says his hat is out of the ring, due in part to his family, but also his business and nonprofit obligations. Copeland says he does plan to run for re-election in the state Senate. Meantime, the race for lieutenant governor is off to an early start. Wilmington City Council President Ted Blunt will officially announce he's running for the Democratic nomination on Saturday. Blunt has scheduled the traditional three-county tour, making his announcement in Georgetown, Dover, and Wilmington. New housing is being planned for downtown Wilmington. Plans were announced yesterday to convert this historic property at 701 Shipley Street to a loft apartment complex. The 23 units are expected to be used mainly as home for local artists. The city expects the project to be finished by the fall of 2008. And yesterday's sunny weather lasted long enough for a successful start to the fourth season of the Downtown Wilmington Farmers Market. WDEL's Brian Smith takes a look.
The kickoff event on Rodney Square marked the beginning of several months of fresh produce, home-baked goods, fresh-cut flowers, and a variety of handcrafted items, all in the center of downtown Wilmington. The farmers market will run every Wednesday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. until at least late September. There are also several options for lunch, and free entertainment is scheduled throughout the season. A second farmers market will open for the season on Saturday in Little Italy at 7th and Bancroft Parkway. It will run every Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon throughout the summer months. Brian Smith, 1150 a.m., WDEL.
The Phillies were almost perfect last night. WDEL Sports and your Delaware AccuWeather forecast coming up.
You could spend your money at the gas pump, or you could spend it on those sexy pumps at your favorite store. Let Dart do the driving.
I do all my shopping with Dart. It's the most convenient way to shop the outlets, and it saves me money.
Now save even more. Get up to 40% off with a discounted Dart card online at dartfirststate.com or at your local Acme Market.
At this rate, with the money I save riding Dart, I have a new pair of shoes every week.
Travel smart. Choose Dart.
I'm Peter MacArthur.
I'm Melanie Armstrong, and here are Delaware's top stories at the top of the hour.
The most complete coverage of the news that matters in Delaware. Every weekday morning, 5:30 till 9 on 1150 AM WDEL.
In WDEL Sports, Cole Hamels took a perfect game into the seventh inning, striking out 11 as the Phillies beat Milwaukee for the third straight game, 6-2. Hamels lost his perfect bid with a walk and a home run to J.J. Hardy in the seventh. But the Phils had already built a 6-0 lead by then, helped by a 3-run homer off the bat of Aaron Rowan. The win moves the Phils to even 500 for the first time this year. They'll go for the 4-game series sweep of the Brewers this afternoon with Freddie Garcia on the mound against Ben Sheets. Coverage on WDEL starts at 2:30. The Blue Rocks ended their road trip with a rainout at Lynchburg, but still moved closer to first place in the Northern Division. While the Rocks were packing up to head back to Wilmington, first place Frederick was being hammered by Kinston 16-4. That leaves the Rocks just one game out of first. The Blue Rocks are 11-2 in their last 13 games and will host Myrtle Beach tonight at Frawley Stadium. Delaware's entry into the Preakness is being seen as one of the favorites. Hard Spun, who left his barn at Delaware Park yesterday to travel down to Pimlico, will run in the 7th slot and is a 5-2 favorite. Kentucky Derby winner Street Sense will run from the 8th position and is the favorite at 7-5. 9 horses are entered in the field. Your WDEL Delaware AccuWeather forecast: clouds and sun mixed through today, a high of 68 with some rain later on tonight, low 50. Tomorrow cloudy with occasional rain and a high of 62. Get news updates throughout the day. Delaware's top stories at the top of the hour on 1150 AM WDEL or anytime right here at WDEL.com, including news video from Delaware and around the world from WDEL and the Associated Press. I'm Chris Carl. Thanks for watching.